Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another build session. Today we're going to talk about this here. Trim on 1/12 scale city diorama buildings, alleyways, how I make them, what I'm making them with. You're going to see me make them by hand today on the show. Let's go ahead and get into it. Thanks. Today we're going to be talking about building trim, how I make these, and what materials I'm using. So we'll go ahead and start out with some of the simple stuff. Obviously you guys can see it here, using simple XPS foam that you can find at Home Depot. This is the Owens Corning foam. It's the pink foam. Everybody's really familiar with it. A lot of people like this texture and the just the density of it and how it cuts a whole lot better versus the green foam you can find over at Lowe's. But it is still usable. I prefer the pink, and I can find it in my area. Some cannot. So using the pink foam to make your different trims and stuff like that for the top or your details on your buildings. And then I'm taking that a little bit further. I'm actually using what is called chipboard. You guys are probably very familiar with it, but it's like a cardboard, a thick cardboard. It comes in 12 by 12 or 12 by 18. It's pretty cheap to get, and you can get a lot of it. It can be cut pretty easily with a sharp blade. You can use a Cricut or any of those kind of machines to cut this in several passes. Me though, I'm using my LS 1420 Boss laser to cut these. If it'll focus, come on, you can do it. There we go. And it comes out very nice. It is almost perfect. So I designed these in the laser software, Lightburn. It's a very sophisticated piece of software that talks to the laser. It is an awesome piece of software to use. And this is a simple design, nothing specific for anything. I just wanted to see what I can do. And so far I'm really excited about it. So basically what I do now is go look at my reference material for my building and then start creating trim that I think matches that particular architecture. So let's get into that, and I'll show you how I build it. Alright guys, now that we have those pieces cut, we're ready to start assembly. And this is a basic assembly. It's just layering to give effect, to give some depth to your pieces. But you can see this is the piece that we cut from the laser, a sample piece of it, and we're going to be putting that together. So what we're going to do first is build up our core, or what we're going to be attaching it to. So you're going to have your ledging or your roof lining here, and then we're going to have some wall pieces. So have a couple pieces here to do that. So what we're going to do is mask up. Always make sure you wear your mask when you're cutting foam, especially indoors. Safety first, right? Wear that PPE. So let's get to it. Let's bring over the Proxxon and let's get some pieces cut. So we're going to do about a 1-inch piece. So I'll measure that. Slow and steady wins the race. Or insert any other dumb comments. I don't know why I said that. We'll cut a couple pieces just so we have it. Boom. Always a very beautiful cut. If you guys have a Proxxon and see some circling or some dragging, just tighten up your blade, move, or your hot wire here, move a little slower. Maybe consider turning up or down your heat depending on what you're getting there. You can also take some sandpaper and sand that down a little bit. Now let's get this Proxxon out the way. The next, we're going to make our ledging pieces. So we'll cut down a piece of 1/2 inch foam, probably just down to 1/4. I love that smell. And then we'll cut it down to a little bit bigger than 1 inch so you get that kind of overhang, overhang effect there. All right, there we go. Now we have our pieces cut. We can move on to assembly. All right, so the piece that we have is a little small, so we'll go ahead and just cut some pieces that will fit. We'll just eyeball this here and cut it. Go. Oh, that's not our piece. What am I doing? Use a straight edge when you can. It'll make life easy. Again, smooth cuts get you those really excellent sharp corners. There's our assembly, our base that our trim will fit on. All right, so now let's cut down some of this. I'm gonna layer actually a couple on here like that. One a little thinner than the other, so I'm gonna cut down a few pieces here with my straight edge. Okay, this piece is already cut here, so now we'll just get a length. All right, so we'll throw away or move out the way what we don't need, and then we'll bring in all of our pieces for assembly. So we have our 3 trim pieces that we're going to use. We're going to layer that up, and we have our base and our overhang to simulate that either that wall divide or the roof line. So I'm going to assemble this using hot glue. It's quick, it's easy, so that's what we're going to use. So we're just going to put a bead down. Go ahead and get our base here assembled. Make sure it's together well. Push out any extra. If you get some squeeze out, just little bit, hit it with some sandpaper. Make it look a little neater. Okay. All right, and then we're going to basically assemble it like a layer here. I don't know if you can see that. It should come out once we get it on here. So we'll start with our bottom piece, which is our biggest piece. We'll put a bead of hot glue right there. Slide that in. Press firmly. Try to remove any squeeze out and try not to over put something. You don't want a whole lot of squeeze out, but you want to make sure you get enough in there. So we'll do our next layer here. Same thing, right? You don't want to have a whole bunch of squeeze out, but you want to make sure you put enough in there. And as you can see, we're already getting those nice layers. It looks pretty dope, right? Focus. All right, final piece is this decorative piece here. Again, not putting a whole lot, just enough to get this to stick for our model. And what I'll do is I'll take another piece and kind of just push that up so it's all nice and flush. And there we go. That is our trim for our building pieces. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So, you can see this is just one basic trim you can use, but there's a whole bunch of things you can do with this. You can layer up as much as you want to get that depth effect. And you see here in this middle one here, I use one layer behind it. And this one I did 2 layers, just added to it. You could even do some decorative stuff below here, which I plan on doing, and I'll probably show in another video. But guys, I want to thank you for watching this. I know this is a short video and it may seem like common sense to some people, but a lot of people don't know to use these materials that you can just find at the simple craft store to, you know, elevate your piece, right? These trims will just take your piece to the next level. It's all about the details, baby, and get the details on there, right? And you will shine. So I hope, you know, this was at least entertaining. Maybe you learned something. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you guys later. Alright guys, if you like this video, hit that like button, go ahead and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. Big thank you to those over on Patreon, Star Marvel, Billy Moon, and B Barnes. Check out the HSC community over on Patreon. Thanks. Later.